Hello mummies and welcome to our next episode of Virtuous Purpose for Women, VPW. I'm so excited that you are here to join us, and I really hope that you take something out of this podcast today. It's a very interesting topic, something that is dear to me and Coreen. It's about swimming, and it's really new moms having to choose a swim school for their children, and especially the little ones. Mommies, when you have to choose a swim school for water safety or learn to swim, you really struggle, and understand, I'm a mom too, struggle to get a perfect swim school for your children that will work best for you and your child. So I've got Coreen here, and she's going to help me talk about this topic. Coreen, will you just introduce yourself to these ladies?
Hi mummies. So I've been doing swimming for 11 years now. I'm very, very passionate about kids and swimming. So both of them I'm very passionate about. I work at St. Paul's. We've got a swim school there, and been there for also a few years, and very beautiful school, by the way.
Yes.
Private too.
No, it is.
But yeah, now I'm very passionate about swimming, and excited to share some tips and some guidance.
Yes.
And opinions.
Definitely. We've got our opinions. So today, I just want to talk about and start with the learn to swim and water safe, and the importance that it has for your children. So it's so important for our children to be water safe, especially, we all know, for drowning prevention. Drowning is a big thing in children, and you hear a lot where children drown in the water, and it's so sad to hear that.
Yeah.
Because we as moms, we can prevent it. We really can. And then there's also that safety awareness, where you learn your child about safety awareness.
Yeah.
And when you go to a swim school where they learn water safe, they will definitely learn you about the pool and its surroundings. They're going to learn you about certain hazards around the pool, about the depth of the pool, steps, all of those things. And you as a mom are going to learn with your child.
Yeah.
And when you go away on holiday, you definitely are going to learn your child about this hazards and teach them. Say, listen, this is a new pool. You don't understand this pool. Here's a step, and this is a certain depth that you can go. So please stay on the step. And mommies, always remember to keep your eyes on your children.
Yeah.
So, Coreen, I want you to help prepare our mothers if they're going to take their child for swim lessons, or they think about taking them to swim lessons. How would you say to prepare them and their child for a swim lesson? How to get them ready?
Okay. So first of all, let's start with the babies or the toddlers. Different ages. So with my children, I already started with newborn, splashing them, rinsing water over their face in the bathtub, and never ever wipe the water off their eyes,
No.
because then they get used to that. Then either one day they're gonna have to do it, or you're gonna keep on doing it. So when your baby's in the bath and you bath with them, you rinse throw some water over their face from newborn, and always have a positive reaction to it. It's like, oh wow, and
that's so important.
Yeah, it's very important every single time. You'll see also moms at different ages also, they always want that how do you say,
Praise.
Praise,
Want that
yes, that's the word. So from newborn you do that, and from my kids I did only 3 months. I would dunk their ears, so I would, in the bath, I'll keep them on their back, and then just dunk their ears, not the whole face. And then consistent, just keep on doing that. Splashes in the bath with the kicks, with the hands, movement with the hands in the bath.
Splashes is so important, especially if you can turn your child on their tummy and splash. Because I've realized the moment that baby are turning on their tummy and they want to splash in the water, if that water splash in their face, it's like they don't know what to do with it, and they start crying because they are like, what? It's water. And so I think it's very good that you do that. To keep them on their tummy, splash, splash, splash. It will really prepare them for when they get into a
swimming pool, or water at least, because we want to gain, most importantly, in water safety, we want to gain the water confidence in each baby or child. So yeah, and more tips in a bath. When they get a little bit older, when they're 1.5 or 2, you have to lay down with them in the bath, maybe blow bubbles and show, or wash their face and wash your hair. Show them how to do that, and it's very important. I when my daughter was, I think, 1.5, I think. I told her to wash her hair, but I didn't show her, and she was like not keen. And when I did it, I washed my face, or and or I would lay on my back in the bath with my ears under the water, and I was like, look, Leah, look, and then she wants to do it, and now she just wants to keep on doing it because I gave her also a lot of praise when she did it.
Yes.
So you have to show, you have to set the pace also in this.
It's by that lead by example. It's so important because our kids will do what we do.
Yes.
They look at, especially I see with my daughter, especially with mothers. I don't know, my boy's still young, so I don't know yet. But I see with daughters, they will do everything their mom does.
Yeah.
The way the mom stands, they will stand. The way the mom talk, they will talk. They literally will do everything the mother does. So if you want to motivate your child to do certain things in the bath, I think that's a good thing to show them. Don't be afraid of making your hair wet or bath with them. Put your face in, put your ears in. It's a very good example.
Have some fun once a week. You don't have to do it every single time. So when you want to wash your hair once a week, do it then with her or with him. And and then when we go to a holiday, you can, when there's a pool there, or you've got a pool at home and it's nice and warm, you do Humpty Dumpty where the child sits on the wall. You do Humpty Dumpty, they fall in, help them turn around first, let them swim back. And then the same thing, you do it consistency, let's say 3 times, and then try let them do it alone, and then push them a little bit to the wall, floating on the back, let them roll, let them, the rotation with floating, hold their head while they float. Submersion is another word, going underwater.
Yes, submersion is going underwater, and it's so important, I think, for mom to learn the child also the independency in water, because I've seen it a lot where moms, they want to help their children, but moms are also scared, so they want to control every movement their child do, so they're literally taking over. The child can't rotate without the mother helping them, and that's not right. You must learn your child what their body can do in the water. So you can put them on a step, let them sit on a step on their own. You don't have to hold them the whole time, or like with the rotation, let your child look at you and tell them, turn to the wall. Don't you turn them. Wait for them, even if it's slowly, but let them do it themselves, because that's so important to learn. Because I see a lot of kids that climb in my pool, they don't want to do anything on their own because they're so used to everything being done for them in the water. So it's so important.
And then with going under the water, just a tip there, especially with babies going up to toddlers, when they're still not water safe, then underwater 3 seconds at most, and then 5 consistent time, then you can put them under the water 3 seconds, bring them up, or let them try come up. But when you see that second time they're not coming, then just make sure the third time they are breathing. Another thing also is they call it a diving reflex. So when just before they go underwater, you blow them in the face so that they can, just keep their breath, and then you take them in. So you can also do that. It's called I think a diving reflex.
Yes, you do.
So you just blow in the face.
And the thing is, I just want to explain it. But if you take a child underwater, you count 1, 2, 3, take them up. You don't want them to be longer than 3 seconds under the water. And don't do this more than 5 times directly after each other. You can do 5 times and then take a break. You can do it later again, but don't go and do more than 5 times, because that's when they swallow too much water. And you also don't want to risk that, especially with the babies.
Another tip, you can holding on to the wall or holding on to a noodle, going from one side to another. It's different feelings for the toddlers, for the kids. So just to make sure that they also get used to that. And then floating devices, just always make sure when they swim with floating devices, then rather in the middle of their swimming session, if you do this at home now with your child, and always with no floaty, because I have to know they are not yet
able to swim.
Yeah.
And that's something I've seen a lot as well. I once have a child come and swim with me, and before that I was able to help her, and it was holiday, and after the holiday she came back and she literally just jumped in the water and she just wanted to swim, but she obviously went down under because she can't swim yet. And every time I wanted to help her, she tells me, no, I can't swim on my own.
Yeah.
And I asked the mom, did she swim with floaties during the holiday? And the mom started laughing. She says, yes, the whole holiday she swam with a noodle.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I understand. So then I had to learn her again, like, listen, you can't swim yet.
Yeah.
It's good that you want to try, but I have to help you.
Yeah.
You can't let me not help you at all because you're not there yet.
Yeah.
And it took like 2 lessons and then she was fine again. She didn't tell me to leave her. I was able to help a little bit. But still, just be careful with that. When you let your child swim with a floaty, at the end of the lesson, take the floaty away, let them swim on their own, just so that they see they can't swim.
Yeah.
Because you don't want them to jump in the pool, think they can swim, and then they can't.
Yes. And you get different floaties. Most importantly, we won't prefer wings.
No.
But the floaties that can bring your body up like this in the water. That's the best floaties, a noodle. Or
you can do a noodle, but then you have to make sure your child is in this position.
Lift up the legs and then help them kick like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get the polyotters.
Yes.
So polyotter has
a very good one.
It is the best actually, because it has all of the tubes around. I don't know what you call that, keep them up. And you can take it out. So as they progress, you take everything out. But I would say take the first 2 out, so that they'll be able to come to their front. You don't want them to stay like this, because a polyotter, if you keep them all in, you're going to be like this. So take the 2 in the front so they can come on their tummy and let this on the back keep them up over there. So let them swim in the right position. This is horizontal. You want them to be in, I just want to make sure, you want them to be in a horizontal position.
Yes. Now, very important, because threading obviously is your vertical, but if you go, mommies, you can go try swim at a place for 1 minute at one place. 1 minute is not, it's very long in the pool, but it's so short making coffee, and then that's a drowning.
It is. It just takes 1 minute.
1 minute.
Literally.
So,
And for the moms that found it now, the swim school, and now they have to go, but they don't know what to take with. What swim gear would you say is very good for them to take with them?
I think most swim schools allow swim caps, swim costume and a towel, and then extra dry clothes for afterwards.
Yes.
I think that's the main.
That's the main, yes.
Yes.
And then some we also don't prefer goggles. Some schools also don't prefer it. But if it's gonna help your child in the beginning, if they really don't want to put their eyes in the water, and they really you just want them to build that confidence by putting their face in, and the moment they gain that confidence to put their face in with the goggles, then you can take the goggles away. But it's important that they don't swim with it the whole time, because if they fall in the water, they don't have goggles on. It is so important for you to
always finish maybe with goggles off and with water over their face, and that's the best part, I would say, to do that.
Definitely. Any personal stories you have about your children's first swim lessons and how they've reacted to it?
They didn't do a lot. Well, only Leah at first. I haven't done Audrank yet. I'll soon start with him. But Liaiki, her first few times, she it's a different environment first of all. So she would look around all the time, different sounds. The pool was different, toys were different. She swam with me, so that's a good thing, but well, not really. Sometimes it's not a good thing.
Not always.
You know, mommies, they've got a strong will also with us. But I think for most important is your child to trust the instructor, to get comfortable with the instructor. But your different environment, it's it's
Yeah,
a
so
lot for them, for
so-
those little bodies.
So you didn't get a lot out with her on your
No,
first lesson?
I just play, and I think that's also our aim, our approach. There's different schools, different approaches, but we would like them to have fun and get comfortable in the water. That's the main thing.
That's the thing. If you go to schools as well with children that's younger than 2 years old, how do they learn them? They learn them through play.
Yeah.
Because the child can't focus for too long, especially if it's not play. And that's how they learn. And I think that's so important to do the same in the water. Play with them, but while they play, learn. So, mummies, if you go to swim school and they play a lot with the children, it's not a strange thing. Your child is still learning.
Yes.
They don't do nothing. Because that's also my thing is you take your kid to a swim school, but then you want to see progress, but then they play the whole time and you're like, but how? Believe me, you will see. You will see that progress. And I've done the same with my daughter as well. We also just played the first few lessons. And as she got comfortable, I started to push her a little bit out of the boundaries. But now she's 2 years old, and now she decided to tell me she doesn't want to swim with me anymore. She tells me I want to swim with a different person. I don't know why. I don't know if she thinks the other person's going to play a bit more and do less, but it's not going to be the situation.
No.
But now she's starting to tell me what she wants to do.
They get clever.
They get clever. So the babies is the easiest if you want to start there, especially as a mom. If they get older, go give them to an instructor because they won't take chances with an instructor as they do with their moms. That's the big thing.
No, I agree.
And emotions, was there big emotions of the first lessons?
Yes, definitely. Because she was still very small. It was last year, so she was very small. So it's a lot for them. So obviously she was overstimulated afterwards. But the emotions then it was so full of joy, and then I wanted to try this, and then oh no, she doesn't like this, and so it's a lot of emotions.
It is. No, it definitely is. I've started, my boy is now 9 months old. I wanted to start earlier, but it was winter, so I waited for the summer, and I started with him now, and you can just see the difference in character, because when I started with my daughter, the first lesson she cried. She cried. It was tied arms, tied hands, and she cried. It was like this the whole time. And she cried for the first lesson. The second lesson already was better. She didn't cry. But because I was with her in the pool. But my boy, he didn't cry the first lesson. He was also like this. But he didn't cry. He smiled. And he was like this for the first minute, and then he started to splash, and it was water in the face, and he relaxed and he enjoyed it. And that's the difference of the characters. You can see that, and it's so important to know your child's character, to know what you can do. So with him, I will progress quicker. I won't just play and have fun the whole time to get him comfortable, because he already is comfortable. With her, I had to get her comfortable. And
like each child has a different character, so that's why it's so important to know your child. They also go to different growth spurts, and so
if you choose a swim school, what things do you think you should look at? If your mom has to go and see, okay, what swim school will work for me and my child? What is the things that they need to look at?
Firstly, you need to know your child, the character. Know if your child loves water, and you don't want her or him to go to a swim school where, it's a different approach maybe, where they let them swim quicker independently, quite a little bit forcing. I'm not sure if that's the right word. But each child has a different character. Some kids will love that approach, will enjoy the force-in approach and challenges, and because that's their character. And I would prefer most of the kids don't like that.
They like the more slower play approach.
The fun play approach, because that's children for you. What else? I'm trying to think now.
It's the characters, and I think most importantly, you must go check out the swim school. The environment, the instructor. So if I'm a mom, so I just want to advise mommies to go to the swim school. Call the swim school, ask them, can I come and check out the swim school, so you can see the environment. Because you as a mom will know instantly when you walk into that swim school, wow, this is a great place. I love the people. They all are very calm, relaxed.
Yes.
This will work for me and my child.
Yeah.
Or you will walk in there, it's like, well, I don't think my child will love this calm and relax. Maybe my child needs something more.
Yeah.
So when you walk in there, you get to know the people. You will be like, okay, this will work for us or not. If not, go continue looking at other swim schools. If so, then great.
Yeah. You do get different classes.
Yes.
You get your mom's tots, where it's a group of mom tots in one lesson,
Yes.
and then you get your mom tots with instructor. Then you get your I learn to swim, let's say 2 kids per coach, or 1 kid per
Group,
coach, or you
group
get
coach.
4 even per coach, where there's it's that like beginner kids with 1 coach and they are 4. That's quite hectic
That
in my
is
opinion,
hectic,
but that's some schools, and that's how they deal with it. Maybe they've got an instructor at the side of the pool to double check everything and make sure there's
If
no one
not-
going underwater. If not, mommies, watch your child.
Please keep an eye. Accidents do happen, and we have learned it a lot, especially when we both went through our courses years ago. The first thing they learn us is to always keep your eyes on the children.
Yes, always.
So if you see it's difficult for this coach, the instructor, because they're all beginners, to keep their eyes on all the children, do them a favor and just go stand there and check the children.
Yeah.
And it will help you as a mom to make you a bit more relaxed, and also the instructor so she can focus, or he can focus on the children that he or she has.
Another thing on character with each child. So let's say your daughter has a strong will and or love challenges, so then obviously she will love to have another friend or swimmer next to her to challenge her. Where there's let's say a boy that maybe is more sensitive to sound or group or introvert, and does not it's just a distraction for him to swim, because he's an introvert. Then he listens, there's a sound there, and that's there.
What does this friend do?
So then there's no progress. So rather have that intimate class for that child then.
Definitely. I think that's so important, because if you see your child won't fit in a group class, go do individual class. There is some schools that does individual classes. If that's going to work better, then I had children that came from group classes that was individual, that they didn't work with group. Then I had children that started with me, that the mom's like, listen, I think my child needs more challenges, so I'm going to move him to a group class, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's how I feel with my daughter at the moment. I think
she needs
must
a challenge
with someone else.
Yes. So and that's okay. You must know your child, and you do according, and you choose a swim school that will fit for your child, and you as a mom. I spoke to a lot of moms, and they say they also want to feel comfortable. They also want to feel comfortable with the instructor. So go and check out the people. If you feel comfortable, then really try out the swim school. But it's important to be at the swim school. It's so important for your children. Coreen, thank you. Is there anything else that you feel like you want to share?
I just want to add something quickly. So on consistency, mommies, always be consistent. I was not consistent with my daughter, so she swam last year the whole year, and then obviously little baby Adrian came, and beginning of this year, and life happened, and I did not let her swim, and I think it was a few weeks ago when I started swimming with her, all those things that I did with her,
that she was able to do.
She was able to do it. She couldn't do it anymore. So, in that muscle memory takes, for some kids take longer than other kids to come back. So that's why I totally respect when your child does not swim in the winter, but then bath with them. Do those things, lie on the back, keep their ears underwater, let them get used to it. So consistency is very important in swimming.
It is important. I feel consistency is important in life general. Because if you don't stay consistent in something, you lose it quickly. If you look at sports, I was an athlete for a long time, and for me, when I was sick or something happened and I couldn't train just for 10 days, literally it takes just 10 days. And I came back to the coaches in the group, and I wanted to train again. I couldn't believe myself how quickly I've lost that fitness, and now I have to start all over again to get to that point. And it's the same with children.
Yeah.
If you don't gonna stay consistent in that swim lessons, they're gonna lose it. Yes, they will gain it back, but it's gonna take time for you to remind them and to do it over and over again. And eventually they will be like, oh yes. But it's gonna take time.
For instance, if they do swim beginning of the year and they get a medal and coach says, listen, your child can fall in, turn around, swim back to the wall, your child can float for a few seconds, your child is quite basically water safe. And now, and it's between babies till 4 years old, and now let's say they can't swim whole length, but they can float. It's just those, you fall in, basically water safe, you swim back to the safe.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden, winter comes and they don't swim, and party start, there's a swimming party September, and they go and my child swam beginning of the year, and he can float, he can swim back, he can swim a meter or two.
Yeah.
And now September he falls in and he doesn't have a clue because he haven't practiced, he didn't continue. So that's how important really, mom, is to truly just keep the consistency in swimming. Until they can swim at least maybe 11 meters or 15 meters on their own, then they are water safe.
Then you can leave them, it's fine. But
leave them and watch them.
Always keep your eye on them. That's a big thing. And the swim instructors will always tell you that as well. Even though your child is water safe, never leave your child unassisted. There must always be somebody looking. Because accidents do happen. Things happens. The children can slip, they can hit their head.
They want to run and do a flip and then they bump their head.
Especially boys, and then you get girls as well that take chances. I was at the school the other day and I told the children, okay, they can jump in now, but I was keeping my eye on them. And suddenly this one girl thought she can do a front flip in the pool. And I was like, no. It was really, because accidents can happen when you do something like that. So that's children
are silly.
That's children. Keep your eye on them always.
And then last thing from my side is patience. For me as a mommy, teaching my children also, I do challenge them. Also another thing, a very nice thing with challenge is always have fun in the pool, have a challenge for them, let them try swim or do something challenging, and then also at the end, fun again. Yes. Always fun, always encouraging, and always praising them a lot. And then like I said, patience with their journey in swimming, water safety, water confidence, a big thing for them, a very big step. Water is a different feeling in the ears, and it's just really a different feeling. So be patient with your child and with yourself, and each child is different in their swimming growth. Their swimming progress, sorry.
No, definitely. All of them are different, and we all know that as moms. You can see if you have more than one child, you see the difference. But it is really important. So thank you, Coreen. I appreciate it. And I just want to say thank you to you, and just remind you how important learning to swim is, and how important it is to take your child for water safety. And remember, mommies, to always end a swimming class happy. If your child is crying, take your child separate, make them happy before you leave the swim school, because they will carry that emotion over to the next swim class. Thank you, appreciate, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.